In today's video, we dive into a fascinating and often controversial topic: lab-grown meat. With advancements in technology shaping the way we think about food production, we'll explore what cultured meat actually is, uncover the science behind it, and examine its potential benefits and concerns. From environmental impacts to taste tests, we'll also discuss public perceptions and the ethical considerations surrounding this innovative approach to meat consumption. So, would you eat lab-grown meat? Let's find out. 1. Understanding lab-grown meat. Lab-grown meat, also known as cultured or cell-based meat, is an innovation that has stirred significant interest and debate. Produced by culturing animal cells in a controlled environment, this type of meat eliminates the need to raise and slaughter animals. It's like growing a plant in a greenhouse, but instead of sunlight and soil, scientists use nutrients and carefully controlled conditions to grow muscle cells. Research indicates that lab-grown meat could reduce the environmental impact of meat production, but the technology is still evolving. This concept challenges traditional meat production methods and could revolutionize the food industry. The potential benefits are significant, but there are also questions regarding cost, taste, and consumer acceptance. 2. The science behind cultured meat. Cultured meat is created by taking a small sample of animal cells and nourishing them with essential nutrients to grow muscle tissue. Think of it as baking. Instead of flour and eggs, scientists use proteins and amino acids. This process occurs in bioreactors, which mimic the conditions inside an animal's body. The science is fascinating, with ongoing research aimed at improving the taste and texture to match that of traditional meat. Scientists are also working to ensure that lab-grown meat is safe and nutritious. The process may sound complex, but it's essentially about finding the right recipe to cultivate cells into edible meat products. 3. Environmental impact of lab-grown meat. One of the significant advantages of lab-grown meat is its potential environmental benefits. Traditional meat production is resource-intensive, often requiring large amounts of land, water, and feed. In contrast, lab-grown meat could drastically reduce these demands. For instance, a report by the Food and Agriculture Organization suggests that lab-grown meat could cut greenhouse gas emissions by up to 96%. Such a reduction could be a game-changer in the fight against climate change. However, the process still requires energy, and researchers are exploring ways to use renewable sources to make it even more sustainable. 4. Health benefits and concerns. Lab-grown meat presents both potential health benefits and concerns. On the plus side, it could be engineered to contain less fat and more nutrients, offering a healthier alternative to conventional meat. Imagine customizing your meat like you would a smoothie, choosing exactly what nutrients you want. However, there are concerns about the long-term health effects of consuming such products, as well as the presence of any synthetic additives. Regulatory bodies are closely monitoring these aspects to ensure consumer safety. It's a balancing act between innovation and caution, ensuring that the health benefits outweigh any potential risks. 5. Cost and accessibility. Currently, the cost of producing lab-grown meat is high, making it less accessible to the average consumer. Early prototypes were incredibly expensive, but prices have been dropping as technology improves. It's akin to the early days of electric cars, initially pricey, but costs are expected to decrease with mass production. Economies of scale and technological advancements could make lab-grown meat affordable in the future. However, achieving this requires substantial investment and consumer demand. The journey to affordability is ongoing, with companies working hard to bring costs down to a competitive level. 6. The taste test. How does it compare? Taste is a critical factor in whether consumers will embrace lab-grown meat. Early feedback has been mixed, with some praising its similarity to traditional meat, while others find it lacking. Imagine trying a new dish. It might be similar to what you know, but with subtle differences. Companies are investing heavily in research to improve flavor and texture, making lab-grown meat indistinguishable from its conventional counterpart. Taste tests are crucial in this process, as they provide valuable feedback for improvement. It's a culinary challenge that scientists and chefs alike are eager to conquer. 7. Public perception and acceptance. Public perception of lab-grown meat varies widely. Some people are excited about its potential benefits, while others are skeptical or uncomfortable with the idea. It's like introducing a new technology. There's curiosity, but also hesitation. Surveys suggest that younger generations are more open to trying lab-grown meat, viewing it as an innovative solution to global challenges. Education and transparency are key in gaining consumer trust, as people want to know what goes into their food. Overcoming the yuck factor is essential, and companies are working to present lab-grown meat as a viable and appealing option. 8. Regulatory challenges and progress. The regulatory landscape for lab-grown meat is complex and still developing. Ensuring safety, quality, and labeling standards is crucial for consumer confidence. Regulatory bodies like the FDA and USDA are involved in creating guidelines for production and sale. It's like setting up new rules for a game. Everything must be clear and fair. Progress is being made, with some countries already approving lab-grown meat for sale. However, navigating these regulations is a challenge that requires cooperation between scientists, companies, and governments. The goal is to ensure that lab-grown meat reaches consumers safely and meets all necessary standards. 9. Ethical considerations. Ethical considerations play a significant role in the debate over lab-grown meat. For many, the idea of consuming meat without harming animals is a compelling reason to support this technology. It's akin to finding a peaceful solution to a long-standing conflict. However, some ethical concerns remain, such as the use of animal cells and the potential impact on traditional farming communities. Balancing these ethical aspects is essential for widespread acceptance. The conversation is ongoing, with different perspectives contributing to a complex and nuanced discussion. 10. The future of lab-grown meat. The future of lab-grown meat is promising, with many experts predicting it will become a staple in our diets. As technology advances and costs decrease, lab-grown meat could offer a sustainable and ethical alternative to conventional meat. It's like looking at a future where technology and nature coexist harmoniously. However, achieving this vision requires overcoming significant challenges, including consumer acceptance, regulatory approval, and production scalability. The journey is just beginning, and the potential impact on the food industry and the planet is immense. With continued innovation and collaboration, lab-grown meat could redefine how we think about and consume meat.